Good morning, everybody. Today is October 12th, 2023. It's in the morning, and today is the day that I will be leaving the rural area, village area, if you will. That's, let's see, it's southeast. It's down by Cambodia and close to Laos in Thailand. I've had the rare opportunity to go to a very primitive village, if you will. The average person here survives on equivalent of US dollars about, let's see, about $30 a month. That's not much, you know. But what amazes me is I'm not here giving money. I'm not here doing anything other than, in essence, just surviving with them. You know, just trying to see what it's like to live the culture. And the reason why it was important to me to be able to see how they live and how they survive is because I wanted to figure out where we forgot how to truly love. Because one thing I have noticed here in Thailand, and especially in the rural area in the village, is that you don't feel anger. You don't feel hatred. You don't feel greed. You don't feel pride of entitlement. All you feel is peace. Everything's low key. Nobody's in a hurry to do anything. I would say the biggest priority is family, helping each other out. Anybody who needs, help, you help them out. You don't turn your back to them. You don't, if somebody's in need, you don't do everything you possibly can to help them. The second most important thing is, because this is an Isaan village, food. Food is a big priority here. And the reason why is I can see in the culture, in the ancestral part of the culture, if you will, that Isaan has had very little food. I mean, they eat pretty much anything edible. I have a video on showing the bugs that are raised for food. There aren't out here, I'm in the middle of nowhere in a rubber tree orchard, because through this 10-acre rubber tree orchard, they're able to make about 6,000 baht a month from harvesting the rubber off the trees. It's basically a latex rubber. Later in the video, I'll give you guys an opportunity to see exactly how that they get the rubber from the tree. It's pretty cool. But you think about 6,000 baht. Because remember, none of this is scripted. Everything I do is talking straight from the heart. So if my math is off, forgive me. But 6,000 baht would be equivalent of about $120 dollars, US dollars, is how much they're able to get from it. And it's not a ton of work. What I have noticed is the work day is very short here because it's hot. And I'm in Thailand in what would be considered the cooler part of the year, the raining season. And I have demonstrated more tolerance of the heat and willingness to work harder than the average, because they live it all the time. They're hot all the time, and they've learned that, hey, to have a happy life, you really have to learn how to slow down. And in this heat, you don't have much choice. I walk every single day, kind of like I have all over the rest of the world. You know, I walk because that's the best way to learn the energy of a community, to feel the vibration. I love walking early in the morning so that I can see a community wake up, a village wake up. You see how punctual people are. You see, you know, how diligent. It's just, for me, it's a great way to see just how a society works, if you will. I love it here, except I'll like everything else in these videos, I'll be 100% honest. The heat and the humidity. I mean, it's what, like 6:40 in the morning. It's already 78 degrees, and last I checked, the humidity was 78%. So you sleep sweaty, you sleep sticky. As soon as you get out of the shower, you're sweaty and sticky again. So once the sun is up and once the sun's blazing, if you want to have enough energy to make it through the day, you take it slower. Cool part is, but also for you environmentalists or nature lovers, which, hey, I respect you guys. You don't have wild animals around here. When I was in Bangkok, I did see, I call them kimono dragons. I think it's kamana or something like that is a proper pronunciation. But I mean, I saw some big ones on a regular basis right outside my motel in the canal that was right behind it. And I'm talking like 6.5, 7 feet long. I mean, they got a mouth that's huge. And they, you know, do have rather ferocious teeth, and their teeth have venom. But out here, there's no real poisonous snakes. There's no, you know, aggressive animals. No real poisonous anything. It's if you get more into the jungle, then you have to worry about the mosquitoes and the malaria. Here, because the condition I've been sleeping in is basically on the ground, and had a mosquito net over me as I'm sleeping, and because even though there's not the high risk of malaria out here in the middle of nowhere, you still don't want to be getting eaten up by mosquitoes all night, because hey, when it's cool, they're out. That's they don't necessarily like the heat either. What has become apparent to me is the reason why there appears to be so much more love, and actually it's not even appears. Anybody who's here can see the love, can see the smiles, can see how genuine people are, how caring, how much they're willing to give you the shirt off their back. And I think part of the formula, if you will, to having a deeper knowledge of true love is when you're in a village like this, the young go work. The young go make money and send it back to the grandparents who can't work because they're old and their bodies hurt and so on. What that also means is that the grandparents, at least 85, 90% of the time, the grandparents are raising the children in very primitive, you know, surroundings. And what I've come to realize is, you know, hey, let's be real. Grandparents know how to raise children way better than the parents do, because they're not going to get upset as easy. They're not going to get as stressed out. They're going to do things slower. They're going to be more tolerant. And they're wiser. So when I stop and think about that, I think about me with my kids and the fact that my parents, well, and the parents of the mothers of my three daughters did not help out at all. I mean, zero. And I look back and I see that because of the stress that I was carrying from, juggling having, children by myself, trying to provide as good of an income as I could, and not having any help from my parents, not willing to babysit, even if I needed a break or anything, I wasn't able to do as good of a job parenting as I should have. I mean, that doesn't mean that I was a bad parent by any means. Shoot, I battled an 8-year custody battle. I had no choice. The mother of my youngest was an attorney. I had no choice but to see to it that I was as good of a parent as the law felt I should be. But now I think I wish I would have did things differently. I wish I would have cared less about success and providing for my children and more about teaching them the basic fundamentals of life. And with my whole entire being, I know that the most important thing in life is you truly have to love yourself. You truly have to believe in your heart, in your instincts, in the God within you. Yesterday when I went to the Budai Festival, I saw obviously a ton of monks. And one thing I realized is that just like a priest, just like a preacher, just like the person that judges you the most, that tries to tell you how you are supposed to be, that's not really who you want to listen to. I understand that, hey, monks are on their own journey. Just like when I did Bikram hot yoga for 2 years. Initially, the reason why I wanted to do it was because I felt, oh, if I do yoga, I'll find people like myself that just want love, just want peace, just want unity. But then I realized that was not the place to get it, because people who are doing Bikram hot yoga religiously, if you will, they're working through their own shit. And the last thing they want to do is even hear anybody else's shit, because they're struggling. That's why they're, in essence, sacrificing, torturing, pushing themselves to gain their consciousness. Yesterday, it was incredibly hot, and I saw monks that were smoking cigarettes. I saw monks drinking Red Bulls. I saw them smoking and joking, and one aspect of me put a smile on my face, because hey, I saw that they're human. The other aspect I saw, that is not who I would want to put my eternal fate in their hands, because they're struggling just like we are. Every single one of us is struggling in our existence. Every single one of us feels pain, feels the lack of love that we feel we should have. Because, like I've said before, the truth of the matter is, The only one in this world that knows how to love you the way you feel you deserve to be loved is you. And you figure that out when you connect with your inner self by truly loving yourself. Out where I'm at, this is the area that I'm looking at the building site because I'm wanting to build a little kind of teaching center, just something to help the community out. You know, I do not necessarily feel that modernizing is the right way to help them out. I just want to give the ability to make life a little bit easier for them. Because guess what? They deserve it. You know, when I'm in Bangkok, the average person is making so little. I mean, working as a barista, they're making $500 a month working 5, 6, 10 to 12-hour days. But yet, when I go buy that coffee from them, they're charging the same price as they charge in America. Like $6 for a caramel macchiato. And where I've been is it's called Mega Bangna. It's the humongous mall. And it's all foreign companies that are in that mall. And they're all charging actually higher prices than I could buy things for when I was back in the US. But yet, they're not sharing that wealth with employees. They are paying incredibly low wages, and they're making incredibly high profits. And what saddens me, and kind of makes me want to puke at times, is I see the locals, I see people come from Laos that's making even less money, and they're saving up for years just for the opportunity to go to this mall, just to buy something modern. And they're paying higher prices than I paid in America. How is that right? How do all these foreign corporations feel that it's okay to come to the land of smiles and charge the same prices, if not higher prices, when the local community is feasibly making a quarter of what they would be making back in the hometown of these corporations, these retail stores? I just don't think it's right. You know, as I guess a corporate society, we look at it as, hey, good business. And hey, I have education in business. I have education in engineering. And I understand it's great business. But how does that make you as a human being? What is that doing to your soul? If you're lucky, you'll get 100 years in this life. Okay, if you feel that there is no other life, if you don't, say, reboot and start again, if you don't learn everything you need to learn, like, say, Jesus, what are you trying to accomplish? You can think, oh, well, I'm loving myself. I'm giving myself every single thing I desire. I mean, consciousness. The reason why I know majority of the people out there teaching consciousness or writing the definitions or whatever of consciousness, the reason why I know they're not fully conscious is because they refer to it about gaining wealth, gaining possessions, gaining your desires. The way I see it is, when you gain your consciousness, you realize none of that matters. Because what I know is when you gain your consciousness, when you truly gain your consciousness and you let go of all the comforts, you let go of all the greed, you truly start loving yourself, what you realize at that point is you can create the world that you want to live in. You can actually start changing the weather. You can start manifesting pretty much anything you want. I know you're thinking, oh, wow, he's crazy. That's off the deep end. Well, guess what? A week ago, when I got here, the person that brought me here said, oh, I really hope it doesn't rain tomorrow. And I meditated. And hey, I believe in the Jesus story. I believe he wasn't fully conscious. That's why he rose again. But I do believe that every single thing he said is to help you gain your consciousness. So I prayed, I meditated, whatever you want to call it. And I just visualized no rain around the house because it was, well, I call it a house, but it's more of a roof. But I visualized no rain around the area, the ground dry. And I know you guys are not going to believe this, but just like last night, it stormed and lightning and it tropical rained horrendously. But about a quarter mile all the way around where I was sleeping, not a drop of rain. Everywhere else is drenched, but not a drop of rain. You can say, hey, yeah, that's just coincidence. Well, you know what? Read through the comments. Take the time. Look at all my videos and actually start looking at the positive. Look at the proof that I've put to show what happens when you start gaining your consciousness. And you'll realize that there is actually something to this. And I know how incredibly easy it is. All you have to do is listen. Love yourself enough to listen. I have nothing to gain. Shit, I'm not trying to develop a cult. I don't even want people knowing who I am because, hey, there's already been 2 attempts on my life that nobody in the world was even willing to try to help protect me. When I've spent my existence willing to give my life to protect everybody else. But you know what? I'm thankful for that. Because without everything in my life, I would not be where I am right now. And I would not be in a position where I know where I'm going to be in the future. Something I want to show you about environment and vibrations and how everything is connected. There's an infestation of spiders right here. And I have the music playing. And I hope you guys can see this. But the spiders are constantly reacting to the vibration of the music. That's their defense mechanism. Let's see if I can get this to show better. I hope you guys can see this. That's an old hat that has an infestation of spiders all over it, and these spiders tend to bounce when they feel vibration, a threat, whatever you want to call it. And the whole time while I've been recording, they've been bouncing. To me, I see that as pretty cool and amazing. Now what I want to do is I want to let you guys see a little bit of what I've been experiencing. I'll be talking less, and you guys will probably be thankful for that. But I want you to be able to soak in what I've been soaking in, because I have the slightest bit of hope that maybe this will sink in, that hey, to truly gain your consciousness and to truly learn how to love again, and especially love yourself, you need to recognize the basics, the simplicity, and you need to be willing to let go of your comforts. But anyway, I'm going to now, like I said, I'll show you what a rubber tree, excuse how shaky the camera is. But here we have a rubber tree. And what they do is they slice the bark about 1/4 inch in. And then what happens is the latex rubber comes up from the ground, or seeps down also, and then drips into these cups. And then they end up with this puck of latex rubber. I mean, that is, boy, it smells just like latex paint too. Whew, go figure. But to give you an idea, off 1 acre of rubber trees, they're able to get about 6,000 baht a month off it. But they can only harvest about once every, they can only harvest 8 months out of the year. To give you an idea, it takes about 4 days for that puck of latex rubber to, be developed by this slow drip process. And then when we go over here, you'll see that I just walked through a spider web, but these are banana trees. Now, you don't see any bananas on them right now because guess what? That's the food source. Let me see if I can find what, yeah, nope, not finding it. Oh, there we go. Oh, and in between the banana trees, what you see on the ground here, this is rice growing. So I need to be a little cautious on where I'm walking because, hey, I do not want to disturb their food source. Oh, and then we have some mint. We have herbs growing everywhere because the land is utilized as much as possible. But there you go. That is what bananas look like on a banana tree. Oh, and then here we have it's a type of papaya. It's not the table papaya that you're thinking of. This papaya tends to be more bitter. I'm not necessarily fond of it. There's another one over there, but I'm about ready to run out of battery. And actually, I want to go see if I can go help the person who is working, the owner of the farm, who's an incredibly friendly gentleman. I want to go see if I can help him. And you'll get to see what he's doing and how he's getting the latex to come out a little quicker. Hello. Can I watch? Oh, okay. Putting a liquid in there, I think, to keep the latex solidified. What is surprising is I was out here yesterday, and there's way more of these rubber pucks that are on the ground. So it is a pretty quick process, but thank you. And what's interesting is these pucks, if you can dry them out, they're worth twice the amount of money. Unfortunately, people aren't able to dry them out because they don't have the structure, they don't, they don't have the space because they utilize their land as much as possible. One thing I've contemplated doing is the kind of learning area, meditation area, making it large enough so that they could dry rubber. Just a way of helping them double their money for the community. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording for now. I appreciate you guys listening, and keep in mind, I don't have an agenda other than simply trying to get you guys to love who you truly are so that you can stop feeling the pain, the misery, the guilt in your life. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.